Yo, how is everybody doing? Hope all is well and blessed. Welcome back to another video. Before I get started, I just want to say if you like this content, then please share it. If you don't, then please let me know why down below. If you're watching this on YouTube, then please hit that subscribe for more of the truth. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's jump into the video. So today, I will be talking about my personal experience with the Holy Spirit. Now, everything I'm about to say in here is true. But I am going to be reading off of a little script. I just want to make sure that I capture everything correctly and don't gloss over anything or skip over anything or say the wrong thing or just get jumbled in my story. So if you see me looking down a lot, it's just because I'm just reading it off of, my laptop. Anyway, so this is basically just going to be a testimonial video that's broken up into 3 different encounters, with the last one being the coolest in my opinion. Okay, so let's dive in. So back in December of 2020, this is before I give my life to Jesus, but I decided to do a 5-day fast to end this 3-month challenge I set for myself for working out. I had looked into fasting. I believe I had done it a few times before then, looked up the benefits, and I was mostly just doing it for the physical benefits. I also understood that fasting was supposed to make you more spiritual. And I was really into this dive into New Age at the time, so I wasn't really sure what to expect in that aspect, but I was hoping to get more in tune, I guess you could say. So the first 3 days are normal. Nothing really out of the ordinary happens. I kept my same routine, working out, work, day-to-day stuff. I actually felt great, had increased energy and focus. But on that 4th day, after working out, and I've told the story a bunch of times, but on that 4th day, after working out, taking a shower, coming home and taking a shower, that's when the Holy Spirit, or as my dad says, smacked me. I didn't hear a voice or anything, or feel this gush of wind, but I felt this extreme joy and peace. At this time, I was still trying to find myself like anyone else. I had lingering questions in my head, like, what's my purpose? What about X situation? What do I do about Y situation? Etc. So I literally started asking myself these questions. Every time I asked a question, I got a direct answer. I asked all the questions I had in my head, and eventually I ran out. One of the questions I asked myself was, what's my purpose? Like, what do I really want to do in my life? Now, this wasn't the first time that I had the idea of a podcast, but when I asked this question, I heard, do the podcast. Also, if anyone knows me, then you know I'm a constant overthinker. I struggle with insomnia for this reason. And this was the first time where I literally had an empty head. No thoughts, no nothing. Couldn't even force it. I can't really explain to you what that feels like. Or at least coming from somebody like me, like whose mind is just cloudy and has all these thoughts and stuff just rambling on all the time, but it was just utter bliss and peace. Words would just ruin the experience, but it was amazing. At the same time, my senses heightened. It was like everything got brighter. I felt so much love, and I would be straight up giggling like a little kid. All my fears and insecurities were just eradicated. I'm going to just throw this in there. I don't condone this. Again, I do not condone this, but just so you guys get an idea. Anyway, so if you've ever taken shrooms, then you know how you can kind of see everything shifting and moving and things just kind of look alive and like they're breathing almost. Well, and the feeling that you get while you're on them, I could see that. Now, it wasn't as intense, but I could see it. Like I can see the stuff shifting and moving and all that kind of stuff. And then the feeling that you get, like that just happiness in the moment, pure whatever joy. I could also feel that. But I would say the experience that I was having with the Holy Spirit was way better than any shrooms I've ever taken. So after that, before I move on, again, I don't condone taking shrooms. If you are hungry for supernatural, I'm just going to put this disclaimer in here right now. If you're hungry for the supernatural, then please seek God. Seek God. Everything else is just a perversion of the truth. Okay? All right, anyway. So after that, I then went on a tear on Instagram, and I was saying a bunch of stuff like, I got my purpose, I fear no man, no woman, saying a bunch of stuff because it was true. And I was also just getting fed thoughts. And whenever I would get fed a thought and I wouldn't share it, I would just feel convicted. So that was the Holy Spirit just talking to me like, say this, say that, say this, say that. And so again, if I would say no, then I would just feel just utter conviction. And then I would eventually share it. Who am I to tell God no, right? So it was also like I had this increased wisdom and insight that I wouldn't have before. I had so much peace for those 2 days. It was ridiculous. Nothing can faze me. Nothing startled me. And I couldn't even feel my own heartbeat. That's how calm I was. Now imagine the best sleep that you've ever had, where you just wake up with a ton of energy. I was like that all the time, but times 10. I remember waking up at 4 a.m. because I needed my inhaler. I usually keep it in my bag, and I thought I had left it in the car. So I just get right up. Usually you feel groggy or a little disoriented, but not this time. I literally popped up out of bed like back in school on a field trip day or Christmas morning. I walked to my car just to realize that my bag was in the house the whole time. So I just walked back, used my inhaler, and, I wasn't even mad. Completely at peace. I was just like, cool. I'm telling you, nothing could faze me. I was just at peace with everything. I just laid back down and went right back to sleep. So that was the 4th and 5th day of my fast. I still wasn't living right at the time, but I definitely was starting to have that hunger for God, realizing that he was real, and I just started searching for him. And now that I think about it, the timing for everything, of everything, was just perfect. My first Holy Spirit encounter was at the end of December. I had that dream that I thought I saw Jesus. And actually, after doing my research, what I actually saw, or what I believe that I saw, was an angel and not Jesus. But anyway, I have that dream or vision, the spiritual attack on Christmas. And shortly after, in January, after coming back from Vegas, I give my life to Jesus. God is just dope. It was just this awakening experience for me, I think God just knew I was hungry for truth at that time, and hungry for a spiritual encounter, and he just set everything up, the perfect storm. Anyway, so my mentality on things during that period after giving my life to Jesus started to change. It was truly a supernatural encounter. My desires started to completely shift. Everything wasn't immediate. I battled with my lust for women for a bit, but pretty much everything else I was able to get over pretty quick, like smoking weed. I smoked almost every day for about 5 years, and it was just gone like that in an instant. I couldn't really tell what it was at first, but just to give you an example of how it was, like whenever I would be in a certain environment or around certain people, now this is nothing against those people, but it was just like this off-putting repulsion that I would just feel. Like I was just like just disgusted. It was kind of like the best way to put it. And I think it was just the Holy Spirit in me that didn't want to be around anything that was impure. Now I'm around stuff like that all the time now. And it's funny that I actually mentioned that, because now it's like I don't even feel like I belong in this world. Like I'm tired of it, and it's just sickening. Not of this world, right? But okay, so here's the best part. I believe that this is a special gift that God has given me, because I haven't seen or heard anyone describe what I can feel. So I can literally feel the tangible presence of God. When I first came to Jesus, it was a lot more potent. But if I can describe it with words, it's like a spiritual wave or blanket that's just alive. Again, it was a lot more potent when I first got saved, but I can typically feel it in my hair, just moving. And before, it would actually extend to like my face, my entire head, my shoulders, my body. And I would just sit there and listen to the birds chirp in the morning and just keep my mind focused on God, and his presence would just come in and cover me. I would even take naps, and when I would lay down, I would feel his entire presence just covering my entire body. Most of the time I have to focus on it, but when I'm praying or worshiping or around people who are praying and worshiping, then I can feel it without actually having to focus on it or trying to feel it. And then I've also wore beanies and stuff on my head, so it's not like, and I could still feel it, so it's not like, the wind or something like that. But anyway, that's my experience with the Holy Spirit. If you have encountered anything or have an experience like mine, please share it. I like reading these things and hearing about other people's experiences with God. It's truly cool, and just out of this world. I look forward to growing in my knowledge with God, deeper with God, and I look forward to growing in the gifts of the Spirit. But with that being said, love you guys. Thank you, and God bless. Peace.